Hello, everyone. My name is Greg, and this is the hippie who wasn't. Today, I want to show you a few of my favorite loom knitted hats that I've made over the past few months. They are in different styles, which is another reason I want to show them to you. And I'm going to tell you how I did basically each one. And before we get started, this has been an interesting day for me. If you don't want to hear about my day, just skip ahead. I'll understand. But it's been a kind of an interesting day for me today. Long story short, went to the eye doctor today. They did some tests, sent me straight over to a retina specialist, and found out I'm losing, well, I've already lost the sight for the most part in my left eye. If I block off my right eye, I can see like light and stuff like that, but nothing else. I can see light, but I cannot see anything else. So the retina specialist saw a growth in my eye that basically I have to go back on Friday to get more pictures of my eye taken to see if it's still growing. They really don't know if it's still growing, but this all happened on Sunday when I first noticed the blurry vision. So I found out today about this, and it basically boils down to my left eye is gone. There's nothing they can do to, as far as they can tell, there's nothing they can do. All they can do is hopefully, they're hoping it's not going to grow anymore. Because if it grows more than it already has, then I won't even see out of my even light out of my left eye. So my right eye will be all I have, and they're really, really, really hoping it's not systemic, which means it would affect my right eye as well eventually, which means I would go blind. Not a happy thought, but I had a friend of mine who was blind and he lost his sight. I just want to be prepared if that's what happens. So that's been my day. I'm always on the very positive side of stuff like this. If it happens, it happens. Things happen for a reason. Things happen. We adjust. We move on. Guess what? I can still loom knit. I can still crochet. I can still hand knit, needle knit. Don't think I'm going to stop just because I can't see. I won't be able to read my books. I can listen to books. Won't be able to watch TV, movies. I can listen to movies and imagine what's going on the screen. I'm just preparing. So, I want to be ready. So hopefully it's not systemic, but if it is, and I find out if it is, I'll be able to prepare myself, not only around my house, but also emotionally and mentally. So that's that. That's what's been my day. Now on to the hats. The first few hats I want to show you are your basic turned brim hats. These four are my favorite of those. They were made on the 41 peg loom. Three of these were made with a bulky weight number 5 yarn, two of them with charisma, one with an alpaca, and the other one was made of 2 strands of Red Heart Super Saver held together. My personal way of doing this, I knit, and this is on the 41 peg loom. I knit 15 rows. I turned the brim and then work 25 rows. I'm not going to show you how to turn the brim or anything because there are plenty of videos how to do that. And plus, like I said, I'm only just showing you how my hats. But they're very basic. Almost all of my hats are done in E-wrap. So the first one is, and like I said, these are all my turn brim hats. This one is made out of charisma, and the color was mushroom. I really love this hat. And it's so cushy. And I love the color, and I love the way the striping happened. This one I don't know, remember the color of, but it's like a pink camo, which I really like. Again, in charisma. This one is the one made out of an alpaca blend, actually, not alpaca. It's Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee, and I got it on clearance, so I really honestly I didn't pay much attention to the label. But there it is, and I really like, and it is so soft, and it's very, very light, but it's also very, very warm. And this is the one that was done with 2 strands of worsted weight. I used self-striping yarn in I don't remember the name of the colors. I hate it when that happens. But I lined up the color changes so that they would work properly. There was a video on that with at Lisa's Lids of Love. Look her up. She has a video on how to work with these self-striping yarns, but this is how it turned out. Really love the way this turned out. It is so cool looking. Now, next one I have is one you've already seen. It's made out of Red Heart has a new chunky yarn. This is in the color Flamingo. And it's 10 ridges of garter stitch and then 20 rows of E-wrap. Now to do a garter stitch ridge, 1 ridge equals 1 E-wrap row of knit and 1 purl row. So, and that's this one. You've seen this one before if you saw my previous videos. That's the only one like this I have right now. Then I have some that I got from I adapted a pattern, again, from Lisa's Lids of Love. This is her 2-hour cozy pattern, but I adapted it to my personal use. She uses the 48 peg loom from Cindywood Looms. I use my 36 peg Michael's loom, Michael's loom, and she did a knit 1 purl 1 for the rib. I did a knit 2 purl 2 for the rib. But it's 10 rounds of knit 2 purl 2, then 2 garter stitch ridges, then 20 rows of E-wrap. Yeah, 20 rows of E-wrap. And again, this I have 3 of these. 2 of them made of, yeah, all 3 of these made from Charisma, and then another one I want to share with you. I'll tell you about that one in a minute. This is the first one. It's a Charisma yarn. Don't remember the color name. I don't remember the color name of the 3 of the Charisma ones this time around. I really like it. The only thing I don't like about these, and I'll be honest with you, is the way the ribbing is so open. That's the only thing I don't like about them. But I do like them. That one. This one is kind of a spice color. In fact, I think that's what they're called. I think it's what's called a spice. I really love this one. And then that's the pink camo again. And this one is made up with a Yarn Bee stripe from Hobby Lobby. I keep blanking. And it's called Stripe It. Now, what I did with this one, I made sure I had both ends of the white, because it's a white and black stripe, but I didn't line them up perfectly. And that created a wonderful mottled effect in it. So it's got a white ribbing, and then a mottled effect, and then a black top, and then a mottled effect. And it's the same thing, same pattern as before. And look, I love this one. I love it. Nice. And then I have 2 more hats. One of them is my spiral hat pattern I shared before with the garter brim and then the spiral. Again, you can check out my previous videos to see how I made this one. Love it. And made out of Charisma. Don't remember the color. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with the color, keeping the color labels. I really am. And then you've seen this one before. It's on the 36 page, and it's the hurdle, my version of the hurdle stitch. Again, I did not, on the original video, I gave somebody else a hurdle stitch credit. I have been really, I've been told by several people that that person did not create the hurdle stitch, but I gave credit to her video. That was my introduction to the hurdle stitch. This is my adaptation to her video, and here it is. And you can see that. the combination. So that's that. So that's what I'm going with right now. So guys, there we go. I hope you liked my video, and I will be back later. This has been Greg at the Hippie Who Wasn't. Bye.